Hello, welcome to Dark Night Healing. My name is Julie. I want to talk to you today a bit about myself and some things I went through growing up and just, general information that might help people like me, girls like me. In my previous videos, I mentioned that I was a tomboy growing up. I spent a lot of time in the garage with my dad and my stepdad. They were both auto body technicians, Red Seals. And so I spent a lot of time in the shop working on cars and trucks. And this was a passion and love of mine. It still is. My dad used to race as well. All types of racing. His favorite to watch, though, was Daytona and Indy. Every once in a while, he'd get into Indy. So I spent a lot of time with them, but I didn't grow up with my dad, my biological dad. I grew up more with my stepdad and any partner that my mom was with at the time. I didn't have brothers until I got older in my teens when I found my dad. I had uncles and their friends. My uncles were 10 to 12 years older than me, and they were, unfortunately, voluntold babysitters. So I grew up with my uncle and his friends mostly, like both of them and their friends. So my one uncle is very research driven. He's very educated. He really likes to educate kids, and he's very on the education track, and he's a power engineer and music. He loved music. Him and his friends all played instruments, and so when I hung out with them, we were playing instruments, we were singing, we were doing all of that. Now with my other uncle, he's special needs, high functioning autism, or Asperger's, not sure which. So he lived with us, and he was our primary babysitter. So growing up with him and his friends were quite interesting because they were considered delinquents. So, yeah. And my best friend. Now, I tried really hard my whole life to get along with girls, even up until this last 2 years. And I find it very difficult to understand them at all, really. I work really hard as an empath. I can empathize and sympathize and feelings and stuff like that. But when it comes to likes and interests, I have a hard time talking with them because I don't like things that most girls like. And growing up in a garage, I spend a lot of time talking about cars, watching cars. I watch racing, NASCAR, drag strips, everything, funny cars, sprint cars. I love racing. I love vehicles. I like working on my vehicles. I used to really love sports. And watching sports. I would go to the hockey games and the football games with my uncles. They would take us, of course, back in the 80s, the football games gave the kids free tickets to go, but he still took us. And so, I spent most of my life growing up with boys, and, I know a lot of men laugh at that and say it's not true, you can't be friends with guys, but I believe I have some functioning autism, and I don't understand when people are flirting with me. In school, I had this one friend, Debbie. We were always on again. Like I said, I tried really hard to get on, but I've known her since I was 6, so I was always trying to still be friends with them, even when they were being mean to me. But I remember one time her telling me that I didn't understand when people were hitting on me. She said it right to my face, like... I was just like stunned, like, what, he's not hitting on me. Why do you think people being nice to you is hitting on you? That's, but anyway, so as I've grown older and I see all these, what I like to call fake tomboys, because a true tomboy would never treat her friends that way. They would never tell their boyfriend that don't worry about that boy, but he has to worry about that boy. Because a true tomboy don't work that way. Or a stud or whatever it is you're calling yourself these days. But boys' clothes just fit me better. I didn't have hips when I was 12 years old. So putting a pair of women's pants on me or anything like that, I look like MC Hammer because I had no ass. And I remember vividly my mom also telling me, you need to stop hitting the boys. They're not going to like you if you hit them. And my response to this was, but if I don't hit them, they don't listen because they hit me. You know, I tried dating one of my best friends in high school once and only once. He asked me out and I said straight to him, like, dude, you're my best friend. I've never crossed this bridge with anybody. And I don't know if I want to do it now because you're my best friend. I said, it's going to wreck everything. Like, it will wreck our whole relationship. And so he begged and promised and said that even if we break up, nothing would happen. We'd still be friends. We'd still be besties. Well, that was a lie, and it absolutely devastated me. He dumped me through another one of my best friends, saying that I was smothering him. Which is funny because, you know, he was quite a bit older than me, so he was able to go do things like go to the strip club and do all this stuff that I, one, didn't want to and couldn't do, and I just didn't understand. And the fact that he used one of my friends to do so was absolutely disgusting. Like, he didn't even have the balls to talk to me because he knew that he had ruined everything. And for me, I never recovered from that. Still haven't. Like, I never dated a friend like that again. Never a close friend like that. My husband, we were friends, but we were not close friends. We were more acquaintances. And I knew the moment I met him at some point, we would be close in some way, whether we were best friends, whether we were related, I don't know. I just knew that we were going to be together somehow. Now, these fake tomboys that I see, it's very disheartening because it's showing people, especially on social media right now, that you can't have a friendship between a boy and a girl that's platonic. And it's absolutely disgusting because it's not true. You totally can. The thing is you have to be respectful of yourself and of your friend. Your friend's in a relationship. At no point should you be doing anything to make the other person question their position in their relationship. Ever. With my guy friends, I try so hard when they have a girlfriend or a wife to include them. I get very excited when a new girl comes in, especially D&D, gaming, anything like that. I get excited because, yay, somebody that isn't just going to do fucking fart jokes. You know, or isn't going to make me want to punch them. Turns out that's not true either. So, and the girls these days, like, I don't understand them. I don't understand how they can put themselves first above their kids. and how they can justify some of their behaviors. I don't understand it. I don't. I would never, ever, ever want to do anything that made my husband question or made my best friend question or their spouses. Ever. I'm very conscious of that. And also, if you're one of my guy friends and you fuck around on your girlfriend or your wife, unless you're extremely apologetic, I will, 1, call your fucking ass out, and 2, if you don't listen to me, I will dump your fucking ass as a friend, and she will be my new friend. If you don't believe me, you can ask one of my friends. Because I did it. I let him stay with him because where we were living, it was easier to find a job. So he came, and while he was staying with us, he cheated on his wife in my house. I kicked his fucking ass out. I told him what a lech I thought he was, and I would never be his friend again. And I called his wife, and I told her. I don't put up with that shit. I am not your average typical girl. I'm just not. And you guys, boys, can laugh, or you girls can laugh and say, oh, you'd be the one I have to worry about. No, I'm not. And I never will be. I protect my relationship above all. If you have a problem, I had one friend I had to let go besides him cheating on his wife. Another friend of mine seemed to like me a little too much. He was jealous of my best friend because apparently my best friend wanted to fuck me, even though he was married with kids. He told me my tattoos looked like I wanted to rape him in an alley. That's a bizarre thing to say to someone. So eventually I just stopped being friends. Like, you aren't going to wreck what I have. And I'm not going to wreck what you have. If you don't like your wife, that's your problem, not mine. But if you cheat on her, I'm going to tell you you're a fucking piece of shit. And I'll tell her. Plain and simple. I don't play those games. Do I get along better with boys? Yes, because I understand them better. I'm way easier at communicating with boys. They're quite simple to communicate with. They really are. And so am I. Say what you mean what you say. Don't fiddle about, don't make me guess. I don't understand what fine means. If you say you're fine, I think you mean you're fine. If you weren't fine, you would tell me, right? This is why I don't get along with girls. Because I don't understand them. My brother all the time used to say, she's not a girl. I'm many things. I'm feminine. I don't want to be a boy. Never have. Boys' clothes fit better. Doing the things I liked all happened to because there was boys, and it was the circumstances of how I grew up. I was sent to the shop with my dad. That's how it was. You know, it's just how I grew up. I play games with guys. Girls always find a reason to stop being friends with me. Or I find a reason to stop being friends with them. You know? I don't understand how you can do coke on the weekends when you have kids. Makes me uncomfortable thinking about it. I don't understand how you can go straight to work or to the bar after work and have a few before going home every night. When you have kids that are under teenage, like late teenage years even, like, I don't understand these things, and I don't know. I don't understand them, and my brain doesn't work that way. So, is it hard for people like me to make friends? Yes, it is. Because I get ostracized. or I get let go because I'm a girl. Like, my husband has, for a long time, he had a problem. He was like, why can't you be friends with girls? Like, in the last 5 years, he told me to stop trying. He was like, you need to stop. Like, seriously, you need to stop. This is becoming too much of an issue and it's hurting you. And thank you for trying, but I get it. And so that's a bit of a relief for me, because it's hard when your spouse is, jealous, even though you've given them no reason to be, and you just don't want them to feel that way because all you're looking for is a few friends. The thing is, it's about respect. You don't need, I don't look at guys and see if they're hot or not. My husband is literally the first person in history that made me go, ooh, gotta give me some of that. Like, there's no one else, not an actor, no one else in this world has made me go, oh my God, I would cheat on my wedding night for this man. Like, I don't know what it was, but he was it. And I would never do anything to jeopardize that with another human being, ever. He is mine, and I'm happy about that, because we get each other. So even if we were, I know we would be best friends even if our relationship didn't work, because we just understand each other. We can finish each other's sentences, like, we understand how each other works, what calms us down, like, and we always have. It's just been a natural thing. So, can men and women be friends platonically? Yes. But it takes an immense amount of respect for yourself and for your partner and for the other person and their partner to make that work. And if you're just a person who just doesn't care or doesn't respect others, or, I don't know, uses the golden rule, like, don't do unto others as you would have them do unto you, then there you have it. Then you're not going to be that person. But I was taught that in kindergarten, that if I didn't want somebody to do something to me, I should never have it to do it to someone else, ever. So I don't. It's a basic principle, and if everybody followed it, we would have no problems. But apparently adults have more problems following that rule than a kindergartner. So this is where we are at. So remember, as long as you are an honest, good-hearted person, anything is possible. This world does not restrict us. Society does. You don't have to restrict yourself as long as you're doing so with good intentions. Intentions are number one. If you intend to do bad, then you'll do bad. If you intend to do good and help others, then you will. Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you are right. All right, well, thank you for letting me share that with you today. I do personal tarot oracle readings. I'm a Reiki master who I do Reiki energy healing treatments. I have intention candles and healing salves that I make. You can message me at darknightheal@gmail.com, or you can check me out on the platforms of Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Facebook. Other than that, have a great day.